Good Thursday morning to you as you're waking up. 75 right now. It's going to get warmer, 94, 102 on the heat index side. Now, the heat index does sound a little bit better instead of that 105 plus stuff we've been having. Still hot, though, 102. That'll get you motivated to find an air conditioner quick. Maybe I've gotten soft, but I really don't want to ever think about not having it. Can you imagine being born in an era that didn't have that? I'm soft, I know. I stay around it, and I salute you who work outside in it every day, all day long. But I am weak, and I like it. I'm not going to lie about that. We got a lot to talk about this morning, things that went on overnight coming up at 7 o'clock. What went on for the last 24 hours? Your local headlines are on the way. Plus, we're going to look at what's going on shaping America this morning. A lot. RNC going on, Milwaukee, Wisconsin. We've got that girl there. She's keeping us up to date with what goes on behind the scenes. Our roving reporter there. Lots to see there also. And we're going to go over the headlines that are taking place this morning as you're waking up. We're going to do all that next. First, we have to brush all that stuff off that may make you think you're having a bad day and start it with a good word. Let's go to Collinsville, the First Baptist Church.
It's estimated that the richest person in the world right now is worth over $250 billion. That number seems to increase all the time. I can't imagine what it's like to have that kind of money. And think about what it would be like to be the child or grandchild of that person and that you might inherit that money someday. You would likely give a lot of thought to what you were going to do with that money when it became yours. Proverbs 13:22 says, "A good man leaves an inheritance to his children, but a sinner's wealth is stored up for the righteous." I believe this proverb speaks to how God is in control of everything. A good man who loves and follows God may be blessed by God with great wealth, and he might be blessed to the point where he can leave his wealth to both his children and grandchildren. His wealth might be represented by things other than material wealth, and he can leave those things behind also. A sinner may also have great wealth. The prospect of this can be frustrating to those who put their faith in Christ. But believers must live with the understanding that God is in control, and He can even transfer the wealth of the sinner to those who follow Him if that's what He chooses to do. Our focus needs to be on the fact that we have access to the riches of Christ when we put our faith in Him. We have an inheritance in Christ that is unmatched by even the wealthiest here on the earth. Put your hope in those riches. Change begins in you.
The Change Begins in You is brought to you in part by Piggly Wiggly of Collinsville, Patrick Allen Companies, Mitchell Tire and Wrecker in Collinsville, and Mowdy Cabinetry. Whew, that happened quick, didn't it? Hope you enjoyed that. We begin our headlines as we go to New Jersey. He said, I'm not guilty. I'm not guilty. I didn't do anything wrong. He's been found guilty, and now he is resigning. As we go to New Jersey, as we see that Senator Bob Mendez is resigning after he's been found guilty of bribery. Remember the guy with the gold bars? Y'all remember all that? It was traceable, went right back to who paid him off. He still claims innocent, but he's been found guilty in a court of law, and they had real evidence on it. We'll leave it at that. Interest rates dropped a little bit, and it's a frenzy as people run to the bank to try to refinance. That's good. That's good. That's good. That little bit of a percent, 2%, makes a huge difference in your home note each month. If it's a little bit lower, check into that. Now, again, you have to look at what it costs to refinance, what those costs are, $1,800, how much you will save over a period of time. But in most cases, it's well worth refinancing to get a lower rate. So good luck with all of that. Fender, their rival, you know, Fender guitars, very famous. Their rival, Fernandez Guitar, has shut down its business in the U.S. and no longer will sell guitars. A lot of musicians use it. I'm not familiar with them. I have to get with Brick Gully, find out what all that means, but they're quitting production of it. Odie could attest to this. He's over there making coffee. If you ever go on a cruise, when they say we're setting sail at 9 o'clock, they are not joking. They set sail at 9 o'clock. It's called time. If you get off the ship to go see a town or whatever it is, you better be back. They are leaving. A family of 6 is stranded in Alaska, in a rural part of town, as the ship left without them. Again, if you go, they mean that. They're not going to hang around and say Aunt Susie's 3 minutes behind. They pull out and leave. Keep that in mind. Your schedule does not change the cruise ship. I feel sorry for them, but again, rules are the rules and they got to stay on time. It works that way. This has happened over and over and over. You know, I don't even know what to say about this. We go to New York. Brooklyn Democrat Susan, and I'm going to pronounce her name correctly, Zong, something close to that. She's 38. She's been arrested. Now, a councilwoman, why would she be arrested? Oh, she just bit a police officer. Exactly the kind of people we want to have elected to run our cities in America, isn't it? How did it ever get to biting a police? You know, it worries me with what goes on out there of who's elected, who's electing them. Here's one for you, a marriage school guidance counselor. She's 47 years old. She's been arrested for giving lap dances to a 13-year-old boy. I'm going to roll on. I'm going to leave that alone. Let's see here. We see this. Those of us who have had rows in life to where financial gain has not always been our forte, we kind of stay down at the bottom with the catfish. Y'all know what I mean? We get by. Month after month, we do our best to pay our bills and get by. Tycoons, sometimes rich, the ultra-rich, when things go wrong, have trouble dealing with it. And we see that as we look to Manhattan yesterday. He was a tycoon that owned what was it that he owned? Oh, he owned movie theaters. COVID hit, audiences went down, and they tried to restructure after that. And it's very few. In New York, they only will let, still to this date, probably a few in at a time. Is the word leapt? He jumped. He leapt to his death yesterday. It's bad that money can drive you to something like that. That's not the first time. I saw earlier this week, and we didn't really cover it, to where a millionaire took him and his wife's life because things had gone bad, left their 6 children to fend for themselves. Money is not everything. Odie and I both have been down at the bottom to where you really worried where the next $50 would come from. And most of you watching probably have been there. Now, don't get me wrong. There have been those who have been blessed or whatever you want to call it who've never been there. But there are a lot of good people that are on the wealthy side that have helped those that needed help. Do not let money rule your world. It's not worth it. At the end, it means absolutely nothing. When those golden gates are getting closer, it means nothing. Pearly gates is what I meant to say. It's golden streets. Ruh-roh on my behalf this morning. Sin City is where we go. The Mirage is going away. They're tearing it down. It's been one of the structures there that you've always seen in Las Vegas along the Strip. The Mirage. Didn't those Tiger Boys perform there?
Yeah.
I think here's a picture of that. That's the Mirage. It's been there for quite some time in Las Vegas. I've never had the opportunity to go to Las Vegas. I'm sure that it's beautiful there. Chuck Schumer. I think we saw the first time yesterday. I think we see a crack in the dam finally. As Biden said, well, if my doctor says that I'm not well enough, I won't run. That means he has given in. A few hours later, it's announced that, he has COVID. Folks, it's coming. Now, who they appoint, I'm not sure who it will be, but at the end of it, they've told you all along that he has to resign. Chuck Schumer met with him yesterday and told him he needed to go. It's coming. They're also showing this morning video of him slowly getting off Air Force One as if he needed 5 people to tote him. It does not look like a strong American president. It's what it boils down to. Why do I say that? There's evil people in this world. Other countries that want to attack us. And when you see a president that is weak, they go after it. It's just like The Wild. If you've ever watched any of those safari shows where the lions ease in, if it looks weak, they're going to take it down. That's why you need a strong president. Some of you may disagree, but that's the truth to the matter. Joy Reid, y'all know who I'm talking about? MSNBC. I don't even try to get into some people's minds how they could think this. This was her comment yesterday. She says that Biden's COVID is the same diagnosis as Trump getting shot. Yeah, we'll leave it at that. That's sad, isn't it? That someone could think that. Trump's assassination attempt will go down in history and be forever written in American history. COVID will go by and by as more or less a cold. Is it dangerous? Sure, but it's a cold at this point. Secret Service, she's still walking around like she ain't got a care in the world, except she keeps Secret Service around her, the head of it there, as she doesn't take questions as she strolled through the RNC last night. Secret Service says they're really mad at people, the Americans, you, for saying that the ladies didn't know what they were doing.
Didn't have a clue.
I watched it. I even talked to, I know people who have served in this role, who've been overseas, who's been in buildings. One of the first things that they do is any outbuilding that's in a perimeter, you're going to do is change the locks on the building. It doesn't matter if that person has a key to it, the Secret Service. And they're days in advance, 5-6 days before a president arrives or a former president. They make sure everything's okay. Odie and I received a text last night, and this really just sums it up. It was a firefighter with a burning roof and a guy on a sloped roof fighting to put it out to save somebody's home. But the head of the most elite force in the United States, the Secret Service, were scared that someone would fall if they got on a roof. While everyday Americans who work at the butcher shop, who work as a mechanic, jumped to the call to go save people's lives. But the Secret Service couldn't do it. That's my soapbox this morning. There's a lot going on with all of this. It's called a fail, is what that is called. No one should ever get that close to. It doesn't matter whether they're Democrat, if they're Republican, they're independent. They do not ever need to get that close to someone like that. We'll be right back as we'll get into this forecast as we begin this morning together. I want to remind you we had a fender bender Highway 19 in the Meridian area at 496 is where it is. Trailer come loose from a truck, hit another car. Police are on the scene right now if you're coming into that. They were still working on cleanup on I-20 around mile marker 82 westbound. That's just going to be just west of Forest. 18-wheeler ran off the road. They were working to clean all of that up. So if you're in any of those directions, keep that in mind as you approach it. Emergency workers on the side of the road, we want to make sure that they're safe there. Terry, how in the world are you this morning? Like that. Miss Joyce is up as well. Sheila Lane, Terry, all of you. We'll be right back as we'll get into this forecast as we get this day underway. The Precast Group, offering you the best selection when it comes to a storm shelter. Located on 145 South in Meridian, where they offer above-ground shelters that can be installed in your home as you're building it, are conveniently located right outside your home if it's already built. They also offer storm shelters that can be installed in a slight bank or on flat ground. Protect your family today with a very affordable storm shelter from the Precast Group. Highway 145 South, 601-482-0003. The Precast Group.
Advanced Auto Glass by Joey can handle all your windshield repair and replacement needs. Service work is guaranteed and covered by warranty. Our technicians are professional, auto glass trained, and have over 100 years of combined experience. Advanced Auto Glass by Joey utilizes in-house calibrations for vehicle safety systems. Most insurances are accepted, and reliable mobile service is available in surrounding areas. Keep cars cool and secure with custom tinting, side mirror replacement, and Aquapel windshield wipers. There's one clear choice in auto glass repair. Advanced Auto Glass by Joey.
Well, Dollar General in Lauderdale joining us. Katina, how in the world are you doing this morning? Hope all is well there. Arnold says, how do you walk around in a crowd with a ladder and not be seen? It's a real good question. Was it hid? Was it staged? Or did he just tote it in? Questions dealing with all of this. Let's get into that forecast now.
Your forecast is brought to you by EMEPA, your Touchstone Energy Cooperative.
Record highs and record lows. 1981, I think I was 12 that year. And it was hot, 103 on the thermometer. Back in 67, before I came along, it was 62 today. That's our record low for today. As we glance across what's happening today, now, keep in mind, we got rain in the forecast, an 80% chance. We'll start seeing sprinkles a little after 1 o'clock. You'll see me a little bit busier after 1 as Well, we always know fender benders happen about then. The later it gets, heavier rain will move in somewhere around 9 o'clock tonight. But we're going to have those scattered showers throughout the afternoon after lunchtime. 94 here in Meridian as we go northward to Columbus. 91 there at Mississippi State as well. You pour about 89. And we begin at Greenwood up in the Delta, the deep part of the Delta at 89. And we come all the way down to Natchez. And should be about the same once you park there in Natchez, Mississippi, around 89 on the Mississippi River. Hattiesburg and toward the coast, 94. Could be a little bit warmer in Biloxi. As we glance across east to Bama, 92 in Demopolis. Tuscaloosa should see 91. Even up in Hamilton into the 80s, 87 there. Montgomery should see 94 today if you're going to be east of the Meridian area, headed that direction. Now, here's what we've got when it comes to this heat stress. The Meridian area, which includes Clark, and as we get into Newton and Philadelphia and these areas in Kemper County, DeKalb, all about 102. As we go south-southwest of Meridian, we'll start seeing 105, and when you get to Jones County, those areas there, is going to jump to about 110 toward the Mississippi coastline. So if you're down in Gulfport, Biloxi, enjoying some vacation, or you live there, it's going to be warmer. The time is a little bit different today. 10 a.m. to 7 p.m. is the time frame. They're putting it an hour earlier for this heat risk there. 10 to 7, keep it in mind. We don't want you to be overheated. Drink plenty of fluids. Gatorade, all that good stuff. Electrolytes. You've heard the word. Yep, it's out there. Here's what we got. We'll see this blue coming in? It's because of some rain that we're getting. It's in the forecast a lot as we get ready for the Neshoba County Fair to mix in with that red dirt. Here we are, 93 to 94 today, down to 70 tonight. Look at the temperature change tomorrow. We're down to 85 for a high tomorrow, and that's where that blue stuff comes across that screen for a few days there. 90% chance we'll get wet. Now, y'all be careful tomorrow. 90% chance, and even my radar system is upping what the National Weather Service is. They're calling it 80%. Mine says it'll be 90% for today. As we look at this over the weekend, it's just rain. 90 all the way through Monday, 90% chance, then decreasing to an 80% chance. Like that's a lot. We'll see temperatures anywhere in the mid-80s to about 90. That's what we got forecasted for the next 7 days. Now, as we go past that all the way to August 1st, which means school is a-coming, we'll see a cool day on the 25th of about 84. That'll be a record low on it. We'll see 87 and back right around 90 all the way through August the 1st. And believe me, it'll climb back up after that. Y'all keep that in mind. But rain chances each one of those days. What's happening with the fishing forecast? Your best time today is 10:30 to about lunchtime. I want to remind you it's going to be hot there. I suggest a shade tree, one of those fans that you put around your neck. It'll help you out. It'll be after dark, 11 o'clock before the next big-time fishing comes about. And we got some minor times this afternoon around 7 o'clock right there at dusk dark. That'd be my pick. Even if the fishing isn't as good, it's cooler. Calm wind becoming west around 5 miles an hour in the afternoon is what the National Weather Service tells us. Now, let's go back to radar and just take a look at what we're looking at when it comes to the tropics. Absolutely nothing going on out there as we pull this up this morning. As we look here, the Gulf of Mexico is all clear. Nothing developing down here off the coast of Africa headed toward the Gulf. That's good news. As we zoom in on this, here's what we're looking at. This is where that heat advisory is, Hattiesburg, Laurel. We got a lot of fog between Laurel and Hattiesburg, Highway 49, I-59. If you've got to go south, drive careful, careful, careful. We've got rain over in Dothan, Alabama, Enterprise, Ozark, those areas there. It's raining there. Some rain coming into Panama City as well. Apalachicola, Florida, as well as got thunderstorms. A lot out here in the Gulf. But if you'll look back here to our west, this is what's coming. Y'all see this in Alexandria, Louisiana, Lufkin, Texas. Home to a lot of old cowboys out there, isn't it? All that rain from Texas is coming our way. It'll bother us later on. And again, after 1 o'clock, I want to remind you, we'll have those rain chances hit and miss, and then the further it goes into the evening, the more rain it is, leading up to that 80 to 90% chance there. That's our radar look this morning. Odie's standing by. We're about 5 minutes away from going live again and having you a morning show. We're going to tell you what's gone on over the last 24 hours, what we know, what's going on. All that's on the way. But we need you to be a part of it, don't we, Odie?
Oh, amen.
Yeah, we can't do it without y'all. We'll go live, share it, tell a friend about it. Be a part of what we do each and every day. The Scotty Ray Report begins at 7 o'clock live with all local. We'll be back in just a few moments.
The Scotty Ray Report is brought to you by our following partners.